Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Web Geek. My name is CJ Gilbert and you're joining us for episode 35 of Ask a Web Geek. Really excited, got a special guest for you today, as well as some information that you probably don't want to miss. But first, let me introduce you to our featured animal of the week. Here in the Web Cave, we always feature one of our jungle animals, and today we're taking a look at our red panda. Now, I remember when I was looking up the red panda to see exactly what this was and what its story was. Lives in China, eats bamboo, very similar to the other kinds of pandas, except it's a very solitary panda. And that got me thinking, you might be feeling like a solitary panda in your jungle this week. We've all been locked in and closed up for so many weeks here that you might be feeling a little solitary and a little alone. And so my encouragement for you would be join up with a group, join up with a tribe. I know it's not quite the same to join online groups, but it's absolutely better than nothing and no contact whatsoever. So I encourage you, reach out, find some of those groups that are online, that are still connecting, that are still face-to-face kind of through this video channel media that we have that we can use here. So if that's you, if you're feeling a little solitary and a little lonely in your jungle, find a tribe, find a community you can plug into. And at the very least, you can plug into my community, Ask a Web Geek. Join our Facebook group, participate in our live taping where we're here almost every week, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. for the live taping of our show. So if that's you this week, if you're feeling like a solitary panda, come join our community or reach out to one of the others that are around and amazing. I also am running a virtual business networking group on Thursdays and Fridays, and I'll have a little more information for you in the show. So be encouraged. Don't be a solitary panda this week. Reach out and join a group. So be encouraged this week and reach out and join that group. All right, it's time to jump into our show. Let me pull up our slides, take off my hat, and away we go. It's Ask a Web Geek. My name is CJ Gilbert, and you're in the right place. If you have a question, what would you like to ask a web geek? This is the place where you can ask me any questions you've got on websites, marketing, email campaigns, or more. I'm here to teach you that your website is your number one tool. What? Your website is your number one tool to grow and support your business. I can't say this too much. It's the only thing you can fully own and control on the internet. And every other company out there is telling you to come to their platform, come to their website, give them your content, and build up their platform. Well, that's super great because you may have some audience there that you want to get in front of. But do not forget, they own their own platforms. And at the end of the day, you do not. The only thing that you can fully own and control on the internet is your own website. Make that the hub for everything that you're doing virtually. Make that your business hub online and off, and then make everything else come off of that. Much better strategy to fully own and control your own website. And if you think of it like a tool to enhance your business, it's going to enhance every area of your business. It's going to help you attract more customers, make more sales, improve your customer service. That increases your efficiency. That improves your productivity. All of those things add up to save time, save money, and ultimately help you serve your clients better, faster, and easier. I want to take just a moment to congratulate you. If you're listening to my voice, if you're watching these slides, you're in the right place at the right time because you're the kind of person that's looking to improve your business, improve your situation, improve your life. And so to you, I say, congratulations, good for you. You're in the right place at the right time. And I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge you and your effort. Pat yourself on the back and say, good for you. Ask a Web Geek, let me tell you real quickly, we're in all of these places online. It starts off as a Facebook Live, so come join our Facebook group, Ask a Web Geek. You're welcome to create a new post and ask any questions you have for me, and I'll cover it in an upcoming show. And as well, that's where we go live to do the taping of our show because we just love to have our live studio audience with us, talking, asking questions, writing me back. I love that interaction. So if you can be there Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, in our our Facebook group, you're welcome to participate in the taping of the show. A few days later, I take that taping and I slice and dice it and I edit out some of my nonsense and I put the whole show up on YouTube, which I'll ask you now, please go subscribe on YouTube. We're so close to breaking that 100 subscribers. We're only a few away. I hope that can be you. So please subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter. We're also on Twitter, Ask A Web Geek, just another place that you can shout out to me, ask me a question, or just say hi. You're welcome to do that. Feel free to tweet along with the show. If you're listening to it later as a podcast, please tweet along on Twitter. Let me know what you're listening to, which episode, what made you laugh, what great idea you got as a result of something that I said. I would love to hear all of those things. And like I mentioned, if you're a podcast player, we should be on your podcast player of choice. So please let me know. I've got shortcut links on our website to get you to Apple Podcast and Google Podcasts. But if there's any other podcast player that you use, do a quick search for Ask A Web Geek. See if we pop up. If we do, that's awesome. If we don't, let me know so that I can make sure that our show is there for you. So let me know either way, if it's there on your podcast player of choice or not. I want to know either way. Let me know. Disclaimer, you must be willing to have your question or issue addressed in a public forum. As I just mentioned, the show is public. It's on YouTube, it's in my Facebook group, which is also public, and eventually goes to my website and is a podcast. I just want to make sure that the topics that we're discussing about your business are totally okay with you for us to talk about in this public forum. Now, of course, if we're going to be logging into your website or we're going to be doing something, password fields are always hidden, but if there's something else that you don't want us to show on screen, no problem. We can always do things off screen and then bring on screen just the piece that we want to look at. So just let me know if you have any concerns like that. Otherwise, ask me any questions. We'll do our best to dive in and answer it for you live. This is not legal or professional advice. I'm a web geek. I've got over 20 years of experience on the internet with websites. I've learned so much about sales and customer service and marketing along the way that I'm here to help you with any of those topics. But keep in mind, I'm not an attorney, and you really need to have a business attorney in your pocket, in your business pocket, and you need a CPA. Those are the people that can really consult with you on those legal and financial matters. You can't take anything that I say as legal or financial advice. I'll give you some ideas on what to do with your websites and marketing, but of course, you accept responsibility for everything. Who am I? I'm a web geek. My name's CJ Gilbert. I've been a web developer for over 20 years. Now I'm a speaker and author, and I've been so fortunate to meet so many amazing people over the course of the years. I've worked with people in sales and business mentors and other people that just have influenced my life, and I've gathered goodness and bits and tips and golden nuggets from all these people that I now share with you through my own show. Very little of what I have is original. It's instead things that I've learned, business tricks and principles and success things that I've learned over the years and now want to share with you. Some of my material is unique, right? All the website and web geek stuff. Yeah, that's all me. I'm also a musician. I love to play the piano, and I'll probably be sharing more of that in the weeks and months to come as I finally have my keyboard, my piano keyboard set up right here next to me. So more of that to come. I'm married. I have 3 beautiful kids, and we live in La Mesa in San Diego, California. And I'm so pleased to be a work-at-home dad. Yes, it has its challenges, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's absolutely amazing. So here we are. I opened my business in 2006 and have been a full-time web developer ever since then. And now I'm here to help you with your business, your website, your marketing. What can we do to help you today? My business is to serve your business. You know, I believe that my business acts like a megaphone or a magnifying glass for your business. And if I can help you reach more people, then I've reached more people. I can help people through your business. So that's what I'm here to do. How can I help you do more business? How can I help you do better business? How can we use one of these tools or technologies to increase your productivity? How can we save you time? Are you sending information out to people? Is that something we can put on your website and then just send out that link? I'm always looking for ways to save you time and serve your clients better, faster, and easier. It's all about your client. Yes, you're my client, and so I'm here to serve you, but what I'm always thinking about is how best to serve your clients through you. So let's have a conversation and figure out how we can do those things for you. keep on the lookout for your golden nugget. You know, our minds are so interesting. You're going to learn something new each time you read my book or you hear me speak or you watch one of my videos, even and especially if you watch the same video over and over again, you're going to pick up on something new each time. It's just the way our brains work because you're in a different state of being every time. Your brain is working on different problems at that time. So come back again, listen to the show again, and you're going to pick up something even newer. So just look for it. I always say grab a piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle, label the left side notes and the right side actions. And that way you can take all the notes you want down that left column. And then there's going to be certain things that stand out to you like, yes, I need to take action on that right away. When that thought occurs to you, put that over in the right-hand column so you can find that really easily later and take quick action. And make sure to star your golden nuggets no matter what column they're in. Ask a Web Geek, sponsored by Employee Escape Plan. Big thanks to Joe Nicasio, who is our newest sponsor with Employee Escape Plan, the ultimate step-by-step mentoring program for creating your dream job through entrepreneurship. Most of my clients, most of my audience are already entrepreneurs, business owners of some kind, but there's a lot of people in that kind of middle gray area. They're working a 9-to-5. They kind of feel stuck in it, but they also know there's something else out there and they want to transition into that. Well, I have a lot of material to help those people as they consider what to do with their websites and their marketing, but they may be stuck in kind of that overall, what do I do? How do I transition out of my 9-to-5 and into an entrepreneurial lifestyle? And to you, I would say, why don't you check out what Joe's doing over at employeeescapeplan.com. He's going to show you exactly what to do and how to think and what resources and what to put into place and how to plan it to escape that 9-to-5 that you feel locked into every day of the week. There's a lot of great stuff on the other side of the fence in that entrepreneurial world, and I welcome you into it. Employeeescapeplan.com. Learn more. Start your day right. Get fired up. Take 15 minutes to put yourself into the mindset of success. Learn more at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. This is a free 15-minute phone call that I'm on every day. I'm either live on the call or I listen to the recording later that same day. And you can participate. You can get all the great information that I'm getting and get fired up for your day and learn these principles of success. 15 minutes a day, it's a small investment, but it's going to pay off in huge ways for you. You can check it out. I made this shortcut link for you, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. That's AM like the morning time, like it's 9 a.m. amcall.gilbertstudios.com. Just jump over there, put in your email address, and he's going to send you all the details. The phone number, the password, if you want to call, if you want to jump on the Facebook Live, it's a Facebook Live now. That's brand new. And it's still a podcast, and it still goes up to YouTube. So whichever way you like to consume the show, you can get it all right here, amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And if you haven't yet, you really do want to go check out my free video workshop. You'll learn the 5 keys to unlock the profit hidden in your website. This is where I advise people begin. There's a lot of things that we can do on your website and in your business. Start here. Start with these 7 videos. It's gonna, and actually in last week's show, I went over the reason that you want to do this. So flip back to episode 34 and learn how you can make your website work for you through these 7 videos. All available for you at my website, safari.com. All right, buckle up and stay hydrated. I'm really pleased to introduce to you our featured topic of the week. And it's absolutely my pleasure to welcome back our guest geek, Jenae Spry. Now, you may remember Jenae from several weeks ago where she presented to us an incredible productivity system that you can use to set goals for your week, your month, your quarter, or your day, and make sure that you're getting accomplished the things you need to. Well, Jenae is back again today with another productivity tip for you. It's all about time blocking. So I'm so excited to present. This is a really great series of tips. So I'm going to point you over there now, and I'll welcome you back in just a minute. Jenae, take it away.
Hey everybody, my name is Jenae Spry. I'm a growth strategist and productivity expert. I am also the founder of the Doer Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Huge thanks to CJ, number one, who has already been an expert in my group several times. So every single week I post a video with an actionable piece of advice that people can take and actually implement in their business. And a few weeks ago, what we had was time blocking. So again, huge thanks to CJ and his show, Ask A Web Geek. And this is my tip on time blocking, making it work for you, whether you've never heard of it or you've tried it and it hasn't really worked for you. Here's how to fix it and get the most out of it. So today I'm coming at you with my tip for the week, which is talking about time blocking. And if you've tried time blocking and it hasn't worked for you, I have some ideas for you. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about in this video. If you're brand new to time blocking, this video is also great for you. But in particular, if it's something that you've struggled with, I think I might know why. So let's get started. So the first thing that we need to talk about is what is time blocking. So that's number one. Time blocking is pretty much exactly what it sounds. Okay, so it's just making blocks in your calendar and deciding what you're going to do then and sticking to it. I talk a lot about being prescriptive with your time instead of descriptive. So being intentional, planning ahead. So I want to show you really quickly what a sample time blocked calendar looks like. This is actually mine. So I use Google Calendar for pretty much everything, and this is an example of my time blocked schedule. So this sort of sits in the background, and then I schedule things right on top of it. So in this section where it says to-do list, I might also schedule meetings with people, and then if those meetings have to do with the strategy of my business, then I'll schedule those meetings. I'll tend to try to schedule those meetings down here. Doesn't always work perfectly, but that's what I attempt to do. And if there are no meetings and schedules of other people are not necessarily related, then I try to stick to this. So to-do list is pretty much literally anything that I have to do during the day to work in my business, basically. And then creativity and strategy is basically everything I do to work on my business. So this is generally how I split it up. This part is sort of my transition between the two. So it's sort of a crossover, but I really try to spend at least half of my day on creativity and strategy if and when possible. This is really, really important to me. And ever since I started doing it, it's worked out really well. In the middle, I've combined the 2 time blocks of workout and lunch. You might find that you need to combine time blocks as you move forward. Sometimes people have way too many. And then you'll see that I have email scheduled for Mondays and Thursdays. So I do schedule my action items email for those days. Now, a lot of people get to this step and then they just don't follow it or it just doesn't work for them. And generally the reason is because they're trying to change themselves to match the time blocked schedule. And that's generally not going to work if you start out and you're struggling with productivity or struggling for consistency in scheduling. So really you want to do it the other way. So creating a time block schedule that basically just puts on paper or on the screen in this case what you're kind of already doing and then just trying to be consistent about that. So I want to talk a little bit about what that looks like. I've actually linked above this video this workbook. This is actually fillable, so if you're somebody that wants to use pen and paper, you can print this out if you want and have actual paper for this. If you want to use Google Calendar, that's generally what I suggest is to do something like this. But I've also given you the option of a fillable workbook, so you can type right in these squares. Just do make sure that you save this as a file, guys, on your computer, not on your downloads. Before you edit it, it will be very unfortunate if you edit it and then you didn't save any of your work. So please make sure you do that and do not edit it. Don't open it in your internet browser. So that's the time block schedule part. And then the second part is really what I want to talk about today. This is the most important part to this, okay? So what people don't do is they don't weekly analyze, don't set aside time to weekly analyze what went right, what went wrong, and how they can fix it. So what I've done is I created a workbook for you, or you can just write down these questions. It's totally up to you. Again, the link for this is above. So you want to talk about which time blocks are really easy to hit. So if you love working out and you have that as a time block, maybe that's super easy to hit because you're definitely going to do it anyway, right? What time blocks were hit, but it was really hard, like you had to kind of remind yourself like, hey, I have a schedule here. And then which time blocks did you miss completely? Like they didn't even happen, or they happened at a completely different time that's not even kind of near the original. Then you want to think about any time blocks that you think you're going to continue to hit easily. For example, again, if you work out or something like that and that's super easy for you, you're going to write that here. These are going to be the most important pieces here. If you hit something with difficulty, then you want to think about what adjustments need to be made. So I've given you a couple tips here. This is supposed to be something that helps you. It shouldn't be adding to your to-do list, in other words. So it's not supposed to be something that creates an additional step for you in your week. And that's a really important part to general systems. It's okay for it to add a little extra step for you if it's the first week or maybe the first 2 weeks. But after that, it should be helping more than it hurts. For missed time blocks, what's really common here is that in your head, for example, it takes an hour to work out, so you put an hour block, but you forget that maybe you have to drive to a gym, or maybe you have to drive to a location, a park, something like that. Maybe you have to leave your house and walk somewhere, and you have to come back, you have to shower, maybe you have to eat, that type of thing. So it's not actually an hour, it ends up being much longer. So it's important to be really accurate about your time. The easiest way to do that is just to overestimate everything. So double or add anywhere from 20% to 100% of the time that you need for each one. And then if you finish early, you can go, I finish early every single time. Let's reduce this time block. I don't need this much time. It's ridiculous. So that's something that's really, really important if you're missing time blocks or having difficulty with them, is to think through that, okay? Next is rating your stress level, your productivity level, and then your time block accuracy. So these are actually little check boxes, so you can check them for your workbook. I do recommend that you make a copy of this workbook every single week so that you can see your progress. And again, progress, not perfection, guys. That's so important, and you're going to hear me say that a lot. I am such a perfectionist, so this is something I have to tell myself. And in fact, you'll see I made a little error right here. It's the little side of the 0. But guess what? Progress, not perfection, and it's still totally usable. I didn't want to remake it. So really important to be focusing on progress and not perfection. So stress level, productivity level, and time block accuracy. This is why this matters. If your stress level is a red line, then you are going to want to make sure that you're giving yourself extra time and being nice to yourself over the course of the week. If you are hitting 10s on these, then chances are you're not pushing yourself enough. So if you are getting 100% of every single thing done planned, then there's a really good chance that you're being a little too nice to yourself. So it's also important to be thinking about that as well. And then you can put any additional notes in here. And again, this is all fillable, so you can just type right in here. Or if you're a print person, you can print that out. Just make sure you put the date on it. And I really want to encourage you and remind you to, number one, time block. So this is really an important strategy to use. And again, it can live in the background, just like what I have here. You can just create a time block. This is time blocking schedule right here. And then, you can just put your meetings right on top of it in a different calendar, So meeting, there you go. And then the nice thing about about Google Calendar is, you can remove this and put it back whenever you need. So that's something that's really important to think about as well. So number one, time block, and number two, analyze every single week how it's going. If you have to change something that week, then you have to analyze why. That's really what you have to remember. Number one, be intentional about your time. And number two, if anything changes, analyze what went wrong and why. And again, you can just download this workbook, or you can write down the questions from this video, just replay it. You can get all of the information here. All right, guys, so that's my tip for this week. Time block and analyze what went right and what went wrong and how you can fix it. Thanks, guys.
Wasn't that great? I love those tips. Thank you so much, Jenae, for doing that. If you want to join Jenae's group, and I encourage you to do so, it is the Productive and Independent Doer Entrepreneurs Group. I think they just changed their name to Doer Entrepreneurs, but either way, you can get there by going to paide.gilbertstudios.com. paide.gilbertstudios.com. It's paid with an extra E, and that stands for Productive and Independent Doer Entrepreneurs. paide.gilbertstudios.com. That's going to take you right over to her group, and you can join her group and reap the benefits. Here in my group, we talk about tech and how that can support your business. And over in her group, it's for entrepreneurs and business owners as well. And there's a lot of other tips. So we play very friendly. I almost call her my sister group because we refer back and forth to each other a lot. And I've been fortunate to have several of my videos featured in her group. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, Jenae, for coming back. And thank you for presenting that video to us. We can't wait to hear what your next tip is. Do you need any more help? I'm available for private coaching. If you need help, I can be available by the hour or even by the quarter of an hour. I don't have like a minimum. I don't have like an hour minimum or 2 hour minimum. If you just need 15 minutes to work on something, we'll do it. Half an hour, we'll do it. Hour, hour and a half, we'll do it. Whatever you need to work on, we'll do it. If you want to do it right here for free, we can do it on the show. If you want to do it elsewhere, we can do it that way too privately. How can I help you move forward this week? Give me a call, 619-512-3210. Send me a text, 619-512-3210, or send me an email, cj@askawebgeek.com, and I look forward to helping you. Join us as well for our virtual business networking, still going on strong through the month of June at least. Thursdays and Fridays, we have an open virtual business networking. You're welcome to attend if you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a student, if you're considering it. Come check out what we're doing with exceptional entrepreneurs on Thursdays and Fridays. You can jot down the meeting IDs. They're on the screen here in front of you. Or if you come to the show and check out the show notes, I've got links there for you. We open the doors at 11:30, have some open networking until noon. We run our official meeting from noon until 1. We have some education. We allow everyone 30 seconds to introduce themselves, and then we have a featured speaker. It's a really great time, compacted into that 1 hour. And then at 1 o'clock, we open it up for more open networking. People pair off or get into small groups and continue their conversations. It's a really great time. We do it every Thursday and Friday on behalf of exceptional entrepreneurs. And you can learn more on meetup.com, and I also have it in a blog article on my blog, gilbertstudios.com/blog, or just check the show notes. Depending on where you are right now watching this video, you might have show notes that you can get to. It's now time to Ask a Web Geek. This is the chance for you to ask me any questions, and I help you with whatever you need to know. Last episode, episode 34, we talked about how to make your website work for you. And I went over some of the principles out of my video and kind of talked through each one of the videos and about what you'll learn specifically in each one and how it all ties together and how it helps you improve your website, which really works to improve your business. And that's super exciting. So check out episode 34, Make Your Website Work for You. In episode 33, I offered 2 free social media training videos. The first one is about a 20-minute intro to social media. The second one is a deep dive into LinkedIn. It's over an hour of training. It begins with some of the same principles of social media, but then it goes extra deep into LinkedIn, talking about how to customize and set up your profile and how to use the advanced search tool to look inside the network of your network, which is a really cool way to use LinkedIn to get introductions to other people who could be a good source of business for you. In episode 32, the one before that, I took you through several examples of websites that I've created. Previously on the show, I had talked about the different levels of websites, and I go over that real briefly. But then I kind of take you on a guided portfolio where we start going through some of those websites, and I talk about what kind of website they are and some of the stuff you really can't see on the front about how it works on the back. So that's a great episode if you want to look at different kinds of websites and learn what's possible for you. And then, of course, I want to mention that in episodes 27 through 31, we've been talking about how to use Zoom to continue to meet and work online. So in episode 27, I introduced the concept of Zoom, how to set up your profile, and over the next few episodes, we went a little deeper into it each time. So check those episodes out if you'd like to learn more about Zoom, or you'd like to learn more about sharing your message online virtually with other tools besides Zoom. We covered that in one of the episodes too. That's what the little +1 is. It's 5 episodes in there, but it's parts 1 through 4, and there's a +1 with 8 ways to share your message virtually. So go check that out. Join our conversations in our Facebook group, Ask A Web Geek. Join our group. Go ahead and make a new post if you have a question, and then also feel free to jump into the other posts if you have an additional comment or question or thought or anything. You're welcome to participate there. You'll the one I'm showing you on the screen right now is asking for some good books and resources, so feel free to jump in there with any suggestions or ideas that you have. All right, here's our big question of the day for the Web Geek. I had this question asked to me, and I thought it'd be a really great question to present to you. CJ, my WordPress website was hacked. Help! What do I do? Well, the first thing you do is you pick up your phone and you call me, and I help everything. That may not be an option for you, so let me give you a couple other ideas. I want to basically split my talk right now into between 2 topics: recovery and protection. The first thing you want to do is recover the website. You can't get to it, it's down, your clients can't see you, it's a disaster. It's a website emergency, what are you going to do? So the first thing you want to do is recover it. But that's not all, because what got it into that place in the first place? Well, how did it get hacked in the first place? Some kind of vulnerability, some kind of open door somewhere. So that's why you also want to look at protection, because if you don't protect it, it's just going to happen again the next day. And that's a terrible loop to get in. So let's talk first about recovery. Step 1, recovery. There's 2. Now I'm going to split this step into 2 different pieces. So you've got your hosting level and you've got your website level. So let's talk about the hosting level first. The hosting level is the fastest way to recover your website, but it's not 100% certain that this is an option for you. And then I'm going to talk about the website level. It's a little slower to do it this way, but we have a little more control over how it's done. Let me elaborate just a little bit. So let's start first with the hosting. Your web host may have built in an automatic way that they back up your website, that they back up everybody's website across their whole server. So some hosts, mine does, some hosts have a button that you can go into your host and you can say, restore my site. And on my host, it's just one big button that says restore, and then it gives you just not a whole lot of information, but a little slider about how far back you want to restore. The one that we got in the last 1 or 2 days, the one that we got in the last week, the one that we got in the last month. The one that I look at, it doesn't exactly tell you which day it took that copy on. So it's a little bit of a gamble which version of your website you're going to get back. However, if your website has been hacked and it's gone and you've got nothing, the greatest, easiest, fastest thing you can do is jump into your host panel and hit the restore button, and hopefully it's got a copy of the good one. So roll it back to the most recent copy. If it's still hacked, maybe you can roll it back to the version before that one. So try that first. Contact your host, or if you have the control panel information, jump in there and see if there is a restore option. If they can do it from their side, that's going to be the absolute fastest and easiest way for you. Now, they may or may not have that, because it's a little bit of a gamble when they're actually taking that backup and which copy they have and if they even have one at all, because it's not guaranteed that they're going to keep a backup of your website. So you should also have inside your website another way to back up your website. So when I create a dynamic website like we're talking about, I also include a backup software automatically in every website that I build that will back up the website. I do a manual backup every time I change something or update the software, and I download a copy of it so I have it. There's ways that you can schedule that as an automatic backup and have it offload that file somewhere else, like Amazon or some other place, to just keep that file safe off-site, essentially. So these are the two ways. Your website host could have a backup copy, but you should also have your own backup copy built into the website. Now, that is a slower way to restore the website, and it might take a little more work from your web developer or whoever you're working with to take that backup copy and restore it. However, it's more certain if you have your own backup copy that you'll be able to do that. Now, of course, I really need to say, there is no 100% guarantee that you will be able to restore your website and get everything back. The plain fact of the matter is you can take a backup copy of your website, but then there could be some sort of glitch or there could be some sort of error with that backup copy and it may not restore 100%. So I hope that this will help you. I hope this never happens to you. But unfortunately, it happens a lot, and happens a lot with WordPress sites. And the reason for that is WordPress is simply very popular right now. So it's popular to use. It's also popular to attack at the same time. So this is your first step. It's recovery. Go ahead and contact your host number one. It's fastest, easiest, best. If you can click that button and they restore the whole thing with a switch, boom, you're done. Well, you're not done, but you're done with that part. And then you may have one built into your website. So that's the first place I would check. Now that's the first step. That's just to get the website back. Once it's back to that same condition, how'd they get in to hack it in the first place? You still got to patch that hole or fix that situation. So the next step that we got to look at is protection. How can we protect your website so that it doesn't happen again? Again, hosting level and website level. So your host may have some software built in that they're offering you. Now, my guess is they're going to charge you extra to enable this additional layer of protection. So if you like your host, if you're familiar with how that's set up, if you're really comfortable controlling your own stuff, you can go that way and see if they have a way that's built in. Now, I don't know if they're going to guarantee that method or not, but it might be available, so that's why I list it first. Then there's another thing that we can do on the inside of your website. Remember how I said your hosting has their own backup, but we can also install backup in your website? I can do the same thing with protection software. Your host may have their own kind of protection software, but we can install another one inside your website. And the purpose of this software is to look at those specific key areas where hackers often try to come in and stop it from happening before it can even get started. So I have a particular piece of software that I use, depending on which kind of website that we're working with, depends on which software I'm using, and that can be a monthly service or a yearly service, or it can be baked into our ongoing updates and maintenance program. So just let me know how I can help you with this if you need it. Again, the two steps for you to consider are recovery and protection. You want to get the website back. Hopefully you have a backup copy that you can do that with. And then number two, you want to protect it. You want to lock it down so it can't happen again. Hope that helps you. Please let me know if you have any questions on that and if I can help you in any way. What questions do you have? Please let me know. Jump into our Ask a Web Geek group on Facebook, send me an email, send me a tweet, and let me know how I can help you. What questions do you have that we can answer in an upcoming show? This is the place where I want to answer free of charge every question you have on your website, your marketing, your email campaigns, or more. Just let me know how I can help you out this week. Once again, want to thank our sponsors for the show, Employee Escape Plan, the ultimate step-by-step mentoring program for creating your dream job through entrepreneurship. For more information, visit employeeescapeplan.com. Start your day right with Eric Lofholm's free 15-minute motivational phone call. You can get all the details at amcall.gilbertstudios.com. And if you haven't yet, do make sure to check out my free video workshop. This is going to give you so many good ideas for how to use your website for your business. It's a tool that you can use for your business, and it's the only thing you can own and control on the internet. So it would behoove you to take the time to watch these 10-minute videos. There's 7 of them. They're less than 10 minutes. There's exercises, tips, and worksheets. You need to check out mywebsitesafari.com. Ask a Web Geek, all the links and details are at AskAWebGeek.com. I encourage you to come over there, check out the previous shows, leave me a comment, send me an email, let me know how I can help you. Please make sure to join our Facebook group and subscribe on Twitter. YouTube. You can subscribe on Twitter too. Actually, you follow on Twitter. So you can like and join on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter. You can do all those things. And you can get to them at AskAWebGeek.com. Or you can subscribe to the podcast too, can't you? It depends on which player you're using, what the button says. Anyway, AskAWebGeek.com is the place to go to get to all those other places. I'm so pleased we have over 200 people in our group at this point. We have almost have 100 people on our YouTube channel, and I can't wait to add you to that group. So thanks so much for being here with me today. My name is CJ Gilbert. I am the Web Geek, and I want to tell you that I understand the internet is a jungle. It's so easy to go down the wrong path and fall into a hidden trap and get lost and get stuck in the quicksand and feel frustrated and feel anxiety and not get where you want to go. Avoid all of that by hiring a well-trained guide. Join with a tribe of people who can lead you through the jungle and get you where you want to go. Make it a great week. Ask me any questions. Let me know how I can help you this week. Have a wonderful week. Happy Website Wednesday. We'll see you next week in the Web Jungle. God bless. I'm laughing at Dave eating noodles. You crack me up, dude. That's hilarious. And here we go. I'm just going to adjust this mic a little bit, shake out all the wiggles and rub my nose and all those kind of things. Blah, blah, it itches. Blah, I'm on video. I was commenting to someone, hey, if you've never seen the show on YouTube, it's different. I edit out all the nonsense. I leave all the nonsense in right here for you in the Facebook group, just for your amusement. But I do edit out a lot of it. All right. Oh, hey, man, I have an appointment in 10 minutes. That was not well planned. I did not realize that. Shoot. Well, that's awkward. Man, I did not realize how late it was today. Well, new plan. I don't know when I'm going to record this show. Because I have some sort of weird time situation today where I've lost time. Maybe I was abducted for about 40 minutes because it's an hour later than I wanted it to be. It's a half an hour later than I thought it was, and I will not be late to that appointment. Thank you so much for being here, Jessica. This was a private Ask a Web Geek show just for you. Thank you for being here. This special episode of Ask a Web Geek is just for Jessica, and I'm so glad that you're with me this morning. The internet's a jungle.